Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about switch statements. Switch statements are also like if-else statements, though the syntax is different. In case of switch statement, first of all, we have a keyword, or I can say keywords, which is switch on, and then we are going to have an expression. Now, you have heard about expressions and variables and values and literals in the previous tutorials, right? So an expression is something which gives us a value, correct? Now, this value can be integer, it can be long, it can be subject, it can be string, and it can be enum as well. In case of string, it should be case sensitive, and we'll talk about this in the example. But for now, let's just understand that we have a keyword which is switch on, then we have an expression. Now, this expression is going to return us some value, and we are going to check what that value is. Okay, and how we are going to check that? We are going to check that using the when statements. So let's say this expression is returning me some value, and then I'm checking that if that value is value 1, so when is a keyword, and then value 1 is a particular value which can be or cannot be returned by this expression. So I'm checking if this value is value 1, then I'm going to execute this block. If the expression value is value 2, then I'm going to execute this block. And just in case the value of the expression is not matching any of the values which are defined by my when statements, in that case, we can have another block as well, which is called when else block. So these both are keywords, when and else. And in case none of the value is matching, then when else block will be executed. We heard in case of if else that we can have different blocks depending upon different conditions which are getting executed. We learned this in the previous tutorial. Similarly, in switch case as well, we can have different blocks depending upon the value of an expression which we define right here. And based on the value, different blocks of code can be executed. Okay. Now this expression can be a method as well, which is returning some value. For example, we talked about size of the list, right? That is a method. And this expression can be a simple variable as well. So we can check the value of the variable to see what is the value. And based on the value, we can execute the particular code block. This will be more clear with an example. For now, I just want to mention, in case our expression is returning a string and we are matching string values here, in that case, the string values are going to be case sensitive while matching. Case sensitive means, for example, let's say I have a string which is SFDC, all in capitals, right? And I'm matching it with a string which is, let's say, SF, which is small, and then DC, which is in capital. Okay, so this is capital D. Now, if I match these two strings, these are not going to be equal in case the matching is case sensitive. In case the matching is case insensitive, then it is going to be equal. Or I can say the values are going to be considered as equal. So that's about case sensitive and case insensitive. You can try it with an example. But for now, let's talk about an example of an integer variable. Or I can say an expression which is returning an integer value. Now, coming to our example of integer, what we have done here, we have defined an integer. So this is integer I. Then I have added a keyword which is switch on, and then I'm matching the value of variable I. Okay, so this is my expression. Then I have an opening brace and I have a closing brace as well. So this whole section, this is a section of my switch statement. Okay. Now within this section, what we are checking? We are checking if the value of I is 1. So we have a statement which says when 1, which means if the value of I is 1, then I'm going to execute this code block, which is again defined by an opening brace and a closing brace. Okay. So these opening and closing curly braces, they basically define code blocks. Now I'm saying if the value of I, integer variable, is 1, I'm going to execute this particular code block. If the value of I is 2, that is when 2, I'm going to execute this particular code block. Now this integer variable can be null as well, right? We have learned about this in the previous tutorials, that integer variable or any kind of variable which is defined has a default value of null. So we can add a condition for null too, that when the value of this variable is null, or I can say this expression which is here, right here, it is null, then I'm going to execute this code block. Otherwise, if none of the conditions are matching, we can define a when else block as well using the keywords when else, and then this code block is going to be executed. Okay, let's execute this whole code and let's see how it works. So if you see, currently I don't have any value for my integer variable I, so the value of it is going to be null. Let's execute this code block, and if you see, we are getting the output which is saying I is null. So our output is saying I is null. This means this code block is getting executed because the value of I is null. And this is true as well, correct? So the default value of I is null, which is why this code block is getting executed and we are getting the output as I is null. Now let's try to change the value of I. So in case I say I is equal to 1 and I execute this whole code once again. So if you see, this time I'm getting the response as I is 1, which means this code block is getting executed. Similarly, I can do I equal to 2, and if I execute this whole code once again, so now if you see, I'm getting the output as I is 2, which means this code block is getting executed. Now, I can have a value, for example, 20 as well, right? Or 200 as well. What will happen in case I execute the whole code with value of I as 20? Let's try this as well. So if you see, I'm getting the output which is I is none of these, right? So I'm getting the output which is I is none of these, and this means that when else block is getting executed this time. And why is this block getting executed? Because the value of my I in this case is 20, which is not matching with any of the values. So it is not even 1, it is not 2, it is not null, which is why my when else block is getting executed, and I'm getting the response as I is none of these. Correct? So this is how our switch case works. Now we can talk about a string example as well. So in this case, what we'll have is we can have a string variable, and I can put it here, and then I can put multiple string values, for example, like this, Richard or something like that, and I can see which code block gets executed or not. Okay, but I leave it up to you as a homework. So you try, creating a switch case of string on your own, and let me know how it works in the comments down below. We can also have an S-object here, which is returned by our expression, but we haven't learned about S-object yet, so I'm not going to take that example, but we'll discuss it in the future tutorial. For now, let's discuss about enum. Let me scroll down, and this is a similar example which we discussed in case of our if-else tutorial as well, which was our previous tutorial, correct? However, in case of if-else, we could have nested if-else, and in a similar fashion, we can have nested switch statements too. So for example, within this when block, right, we can have another switch statement. So I can say that, within this red block, I can say switch on, and then I can have another expression, and then I can have when blocks within this. Okay, so this is also possible. But for now, we are going to discuss about a simple enum example, and you can explore the other things on your own. So what I have done here, I have created a similar enum, which we created in the previous tutorial, that is Salesforce release. It is having different values. So it is having spring, summer, and winter. Then I created a variable of this enum, which is named as current release, and the default value of this variable is spring. Okay. Then what I'm doing, I'm having a switch statement, which is working on this particular variable. So if you see, switch on, and then this variable, and then I have multiple when statements, which are checking the values. Now, one thing which I want to mention is that in case of when statements, you can compare the value of your expression, or I can say the value returned by your expression, with multiple comma separated values as well. So for example, here I am saying, in case my current release is spring or my current release is summer, then this code block should be executed, and it will print Richard will ride a bike. In case it's winter, then this code block will be executed, and it will print Richard will drive a car. Okay, so you can have multiple values as well, which you can compare with the current expression using comma separated values after the when keyword. However, one thing which we should take care of is that all the values should be different. So this value is different, this value is different, and this value is different. In case you have similar values in two when blocks, you will get an error. So this is the variable, the default value is spring, and I'm saying in case the value is spring or if the value is summer, we'll get this code block executed. Okay, so this is a or condition in a way. Let's execute this whole code and let's see what happens. So if you see, I'm getting the output as Richard will ride a bike, right? Richard will ride a bike. This means that the value of my current release variable, which is under the expression, is spring, which is matching this particular value, and this is why this code block is getting executed. Now I can change its value as well. So let's say if the value is summer, then let's see what will happen. So if you see, I'm still getting the output as Richard will ride a bike, though the value is summer, because I'm checking both the values here. So in case the value is spring or the value is summer, that doesn't matter. This code block will be executed. Okay. Now let's try changing the value to winter. So in case the value is winter, let's execute this code. And if you see, I'm getting the output here as Richard will drive a car, right? So in case the value is winter of my variable, which is current release, I'm going to execute this code block, which will print Richard will drive a car. Okay. So this is working fine. Now we can have a null variable as well. So let's say if I don't assign any value to this variable, and if I execute this whole code, so in this case, this null block is getting executed, and I'm getting the output as Richard will do nothing. So this is also working fine. Just in case we have some other value, so let's say I need to define one more value here. So let's say there's autumn, and I can say current release is equal to Salesforce release dot autumn. And if I execute this whole code, so you can see this time the when else block is getting executed. So the value is neither spring nor summer, not it is winter as well. And in this case, the when else block is getting executed, and I'm getting the output as Richard will stay at home. In case you don't define a when else block, then nothing will happen. I mean, it will just get out of this code block and it will start executing the code which is ahead of this. Okay. So when else block is not mandatory, but it's good if you define it. So that's all I wanted to tell you about switch statements in this tutorial. I hope this is clear to you that how you can use switch statements and what is the difference between switch statement and if else statement. Switch statement has some limitations because you can only check the values, or I can say compare the values of integer, long, subject, string, and enum variables, and you cannot compare anything else. Whereas in case of if else, you can have any kind of condition here, and that should work fine. And based on your scenario that you are dealing with, you can decide whether you want to use if else or you want to use switch statements. Both of these statements have their own advantages. So switch statement is easier to read, and you can compare one particular expression with multiple values in a single go. However, in case of if else, if you want to compare one particular expression value, you have to define it multiple times in every if condition, right? So it's up to you. Both are doing the same thing, but these are the two type of control flow statements which I wanted to talk about, which can control the flow of your code execution. So you can skip a code block or you can execute a code block based on those conditions. Now, in the next tutorial, we are going to discuss about more control flow statements. However, those statements will help us to execute a block of code repeatedly. Okay. So until now, we talked about this part that you can skip a block of code or you can execute a block of code. And now going forward, we'll talk about this part, that how we can execute a block of code repeatedly using control flow statements. That's all for this tutorial. I hope you liked it. Let me know your feedback in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.